The wind carried the scent of morning across the desert long before anyone saw her. Mariah, the Apache widow who hadn't spoken a word to a stranger since the night her world burned. But today, she stepped out of the canyon shadows with fire in her eyes and a question, heavy on her tongue, and standing before her was the last man she ever expected to confront. A dust-covered cowboy, who had risked his own life to pull her wounded brother from a flash, flood hours earlier. Her voice trembled not with fear but with truth long buried. "Tell me the truth," she whispered, her breath catching. "Do you desire me too?" Before the cowboy could answer, the narrator's voice rose softly across the moment. Before we continue this powerful story, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to channel name Like, where every story reminds us that kindness still matters. And just like that, the moment froze, and the past began to speak. The story continues. The cowboy Eli Mercer was a man known across the frontier for two things: his silence and his stubborn habit of helping people who could never repay him. He had no business being in Apache territory that day. He had no reason to jump into the roaring, muddy river for a man he'd never met. But when he saw Mariah's brother swept away, Eli didn't hesitate. Kindness for him wasn't a choice. It was instinct. Mariah saw all of it. She saw the courage. She saw the pain in his eyes as he carried her brother to safety. And for the first time since her husband's death, she felt her heartbeat do something strange, something warm. But what she felt terrified her. So she asked the question that had been crushing her chest. "Do you desire me too? Or am I just another soul you rescue and forget?" Eli took a slow breath, the desert sun glinting against his jaw. He wasn't a man of poetry, he barely spoke at all, but this time, he needed the right words. "Ma'am," he said softly, "I didn't save your brother to get close to you." He paused, eyes lowering. That would have been too easy. She frowned, confused. Then came the twist she didn't expect. "I saved him," Eli said, "because when I saw the fear in your eyes, it reminded me of my own mother. The day my father didn't come home." Mariah's breath broke. She thought he'd rescued her brother for her. She thought his kindness was the beginning of something new. But instead, it was born from an old wound he never spoke of. But then, Eli stepped closer, dust swirling around his boots. "But," he added quietly, "when I carried your brother out, I realized something else." Mariah's heart hammered. "I wasn't just trying to save him." His voice lowered. "I was trying to save the part of me that still believes in good people. And when you ran to him, when you held him like he was the last piece of your heart," he swallowed. "That's when I knew I hadn't felt anything like that in years." Her throat tightened. "You mean?" she whispered. Eli nodded. "Yes. I desire you, not because you're broken, but because you survived." The desert went silent around them, as if the canyon itself was listening. But the true twist, the true moment of compassion, came when Mariah stepped forward and placed her hand over his, her voice steady. "Then let us not build a life from pain," she said gently. "Let us build it from kindness, and see where that kindness carries us." For the first time in a decade, Eli smiled. Not a cowboy grin, not a passing smirk, a real smile. The kind that says a man has finally exhaled the burden he's carried too long. The ending, a message of hope. That evening, as Mariah's tribe welcomed the cowboy with food, firelight, and grateful hearts, she realized something she had forgotten. Sometimes a stranger arrives not to change your destiny, but to remind you that you still have one. And Eli, watching the flames dance, finally understood. Kindness doesn't just save others. Sometimes it saves you too.